Hello, my name is Julian and I'm gonna show you how to install HDP3. I'm gonna split this video into three main activities. The first one will be for us to go into the documentation and take a look at it. Then we will install ambari-server and then we will deploy HDP components. What is the documentation? It's a portal in which you can go there and take a look at the different steps you have to fulfill for being able to deploy your services without issues. Now, if you want to deploy specific services, for example, I want to deploy HDP 301 in this video, the best thing to do will be to go into the support matrix and take a look at the compatible Ambari versions we have. Because the first thing we would like to do is install Ambari and then deploy all of the HDP services we want. So in this case, I clicked HDP 301 and the only compatible Ambari version is 271. Now for us to install Ambari and HDP, we need to fulfill some minimum system requirements. That is, we need to install some packages such as OpenSSL, Python, NTP. A package manager will be useful as well. We also need free RAM memory and disk space, and we need to make sure some system configurations are set for everything to run without issues. About the environment, since Ambari will be helping us manage our cluster, we need to set up passwordless SSH between the Ambari server and the nodes in the cluster. We need to make sure the time synchronization is working between all of the nodes in the cluster. We need to make sure that fully qualified domain names are being resolved in a correct way between all of the nodes. That is, use the same entries on the hosts file in each node, or to check our DNS service is successfully resolving the forward and reverse DNS names. Next, the network configurations for security such as firewalls and SLinux should be disabled so we do not run into issues when installing and deploying services. Now for installing Ambari, we'll need to install multiple packages. Since some companies do not have internet access for internal nodes, you have three main options. The first option, in case you have internet access, is to use the public repository we manage. Another option will be for you to make your own private repository. And if you have no internet access or have no way to create a repository, get the RPMs every time you have to install them and copy them manually to each host and install them by hand. Now for installing Ambari server in this video, I will be using the public repository and then I will set it up. Let's take a look at the limits configuration. For increasing the values, we can use two different ways. The one will be just for this session, we can use it like this. So if we run this command, we will get the updated values, and for us to have a permanent solution, we will have to go into this etc security limits conf file. We will have to add the same content here. Now let's configure passwordless SSH access from Ambari to node 1. I'm gonna be running SSH keygen. Now we have both private and public keys. And then I'm gonna copy the public key from Ambari into node 1. If I were to test the connection like this, it should work now. There is. Now for NTP, let's install the package with yum and then edit the configuration file in etc/ntp.conf for using the time servers pool geographically closer to where the servers are physically located. Just as I am setting the United States country code, you can set the country ISO code if it's showing in the ntp.org Stratton time servers list. Let's save the file and start the service. I'm gonna check if it's running with a status command. It is running, and now I'll check if it's communicating with the NTP servers by running ntpq print. It is. You might want to check your firewall rules in case you get errors or no IP addresses are returned in the output. And let's check how the time drift is currently looking like. The value is very low, that's what we wanted to see. Now let's take a look at the hostname configuration. For this one we'll be using ambari.local, and for this one I will be using node1.local. Let's take a look at the hosts file. The idea will be for us to add two entries into this file. I'm gonna be using the same entries So I am just defining the IP addresses and the names that are gonna be mapped to those. Now let's take a look at the network configuration file. Let's add 2 lines. The first one will be for us to bring up the network interface every time we boot, and the second one will be the host name we'll be using. If we take a look at the host name like this, we should get the right one. And if we take a look at the host name with -f, like the full qualified domain name, it should have the same value. Now for our current session, to reflect the names we just said, we will have to run these commands. And then just starting a shell should get us the good names. Now let's take a look at the firewall. I'm gonna disable firewall D on both systems. And I'm gonna stop the service as well. Then I'm gonna take a look at the SC Linux to see if it's enabled. Seems to be enforcing, so I'm gonna set it to not enforce. Let's see if, yeah, it worked, so now it's permissive. Now I'm gonna get the Ambari repo. It should show with repo list. There is. Let's install it. I'm gonna accept this scheme. Now I'm gonna run ambari-server setup. I'm gonna click yes. I'm gonna go with the default options. I'm gonna use the default Oracle JDK. Now that it's finished installing, I'm gonna start the server. Now that we finished setting up Ambari server, I'm gonna start it and I'm gonna log in into the Ambari web interface, also called Ambari UI. The default authentication username and password are admin and admin, and I'm gonna log in there to show you how to keep installing the cluster. I'm gonna use default auth data, so username and password are admin. I'm gonna launch the install wizard. I'm gonna set a default name for this one. We're gonna be using HDP 301. And I'm gonna be removing all of the repositories I'm not gonna use. I'm just gonna be using Red Hat 7 for this. Now we have to input the node names that we're gonna use. In this case, I'm gonna be using node1.local, and I have to specify the private key. So if we go back to the terminal and do a cat of the private key, we should be able to copy it like this, for then switching back to the browser and pasting it here. We will be using the root user default port. So let's register and confirm. And it's important in this step to all of the checks to pass. Now it's time to choose the services that are gonna be deployed for this cluster. I'm gonna go with the minimal installation. It's requesting me to add Ambari Metrics as well. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna set default passwords for this. And I'm not going to use custom usernames for the services. Now let's click next. And this is the summary of what we just did. Seems like all of the services came up right. They are all showing green badges here. We do have an alert, but that is because the storage assigned to the VMs was not that big. So I think we're finished. Thank you for watching.